Good afternoon. Thank you for being here. I'm Attorney General Eric Schneiderman, and I'm pleased to be joined today by our City Council Speaker, Melissa Mark-Viverito, our distinguished former Bronx Borough President and Chair of the MTA, Fernando Ferrer, State Senators Jose Serrano and Gustavo Rivera, Assembly Member Robert Rodriguez, and a member of the board, the new board of the Puerto Rican Day Parade, Carmen Pacheco. And also with us is David Nachman, who is my senior enforcement counsel, who has been working on this matter for some time and played a lead role in what we're going to announce. We're here today because we're announcing comprehensive reforms to the not-for-profit organization that produces the Puerto Rican Day Parade. These reforms will transform the leadership of the parade and strengthen both the governance and finances of this vital cultural institution. The reforms that we're announcing today stem from an investigation by my Charities Bureau into the nonprofit National Puerto Rican Day Parade and their for-profit fundraising and marketing company, Gallows, Inc. In response to numerous complaints about financial improprieties in connection with the parade, including from some who are here with us today, my office obtained extensive financial records from sponsors of the parade, interviewed many witnesses, including members of the organization's board. We were seeking to determine two things. First, whether charitable funds that were raised by Gallows, the for-profit company that had contracted with the parade, to support the parade, were actually used for those purposes. And second, whether the board of the nonprofit parade organization fulfilled its duty to protect those charitable assets by providing oversight and putting meaningful financial controls into place. Our investigation, which was done on an expedited basis in about 8 months, found that the parade's for-profit fundraising and marketing company, Gallows, and Gallows's president, Carlos Velazquez, misappropriated and misdirected approximately $1 million in charitable contributions from the parade. The parade contracted exclusively with Gallows to raise its money, and under the contract, Gallows was supposed to take between 25 to 35% of the funds it raised and to charge certain very specific fundraising and marketing expenses to the parade organization's account. But Gallows provided only summary reports of the funds it raised, understating the actual amount raised and providing no real underlying documentation. By comparing the sponsors' records, the folks who were giving the money, with the reports Gallows provided to the board, we've determined that he significantly underreported the amounts raised, and that's to the tune of about $1 million. So, for example, one corporate sponsor provided $75,000 to the parade through Gallows, but Gallows only reported to the board $20,000 of those contributions. That's the way this scam worked. Had he properly reported all the contributions, the parade would have netted an additional $1 million. That now shows up on the parade's books as a $1 million debt to the Gallows organization. He also misappropriated airline vouchers that were donated to the parade for the use of the parade. And we know now that Gallows and Mr. Velazquez failed in their duty to accurately report funds, misdirected funds, and really abused their position of trust with regard to the parade. But we also know that there should not have been this ongoing misappropriation of assets for years if the board had provided the oversight they're required to under the New York nonprofit law. We have a very strong Charities Bureau in my office. We deal with thousands of nonprofits all the time, and it's clear that certain members of the board gave way too much discretion to Gallows, failed to question revenue reports or ask for documentation, and didn't perform their basic duties. So when Gallows's contract for renewal came up in 2010, there was no request for other bids, no inquiry about past conduct. It was just renewed, even though the parade organization at that point, with Gallows's leadership, had sunk deeply into debt. So the findings of this investigation are very disturbing for all those of us who care about and value the National Puerto Rican Day Parade. It is a critical cultural institution, not just for the Puerto Rican community, not just for New York, but for the community all around the world. The nonprofit that organizes the parade has a responsibility to all of us, to the donors, to the Puerto Rican community, to the participants to ensure that the parade is a source of pride for all New Yorkers and not a slush fund to enrich parade organizers. And that is why I'm proud to announce today that we have reached an agreement that will begin a new day for the National Puerto Rican Day Parade. Hoy es un nuevo día para la parada puertorriqueña. Under the terms of this agreement, Gallos has agreed to cancel the debt of $1 million that shouldn't have existed but for the misdirection of the funds. He's also going to pay an additional $100,000 in compensation to the parade organization, turn over any other remaining funds in other accounts in his possession, hand back all of the remaining airline vouchers, and Gallos and Velasquez are now required under this agreement to cooperate with the parade in its organization of the 2014 parade. If they do not, they face further financial penalties. So this is an agreement with teeth. They are also permanently banned from further fundraising or marketing on behalf of the parade. The National Puerto Rican Day Parade's board president, Madeline Lugo, general coordinator, Luis Rivera, and treasurer Shirley Cox have all resigned and are barred from either serving on the organization board or being employed by the parade organization for the next 5 years. Also stepping down from the board are two honorary members, Rosalinda Ortega and Maria Roman Dument. 3 other board members who were more responsive are staying on to provide continuity, and under the terms of the agreement, they will be joined by 10 new members. So far, 9 new members have agreed to serve, and they all bring strong and diverse backgrounds and competence to make up the constituted board of the new parade, and we are confident that the board will be adopting new policies and procedures with regard to audits, conflicts of interest, and other matters, and ensure that only the best practices are in effect. Our Charities Bureau will provide whatever assistance we can, and I know that the support of the leaders, including the people who are standing with me of the Puerto Rican community, will be there for the new board to ensure that this parade is bigger and better than ever. We know that we have the time, and we rushed this investigation through very quickly, devoting extra resources to it because we know we needed the time to have a parade succeed this year. My office is committed to helping and providing whatever support we can. The people standing with me are committed to providing whatever support they can, and it is very important that we put the parade on a firm footing so that this event can be a success this year and every year into the future. La Parada es un patrimonio cultural de la comunidad puertorriqueña y de la ciudad de Nueva York. Gallos y el señor Carlos Velázquez estaban engañando la comunidad puertorriqueña durante años. Ahora él está afuera y la parada continúa. Que viva la parada puertorriqueña. And I am now proud to introduce a great partner in government and someone who is in the lead of calling for these reforms, our City Council Speaker, Melissa Mark-Viverito.